Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emma. Thank you so much for choosing to practice with me today. Let's go ahead and do some yoga. We're gonna start on our backs today. However you are comfortable, feet together, knees wide, or kind of the opposite, feet wide, knees falling in towards each other. Really whatever is suiting you best this morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you've decided to roll out your mat. You can do anything you'd like with the arms. Sometimes I find it feels nice to take the arms almost overhead and grab opposite elbows just to feel a little bit more opening in your chest, your body, depending on what you've been up to today. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the commitment you've already made to stepping on your mat, choosing a video to practice, maybe pushing other tasks to the side. You've already made the commitment to be here physically. So try your best to just be here 100% mentally as we start to move. If you notice the mind start to wander, I like to think just be where your feet are, right here within the boundaries of your mat. Take a deep, full breath in. Open your mouth, big sigh. 2 more, full breath in. Big exhale. 1 more. And let it go. Seal your lips, breathe evenly through your nose. On your next inhale, extend your legs, extend your arms. Like that first big stretch of the morning, maybe you yawn, roll out your fingers, your wrists. Take that nice big lengthen. And then hug your knees into your chest. You might rock gently side to side or circle your knees in one direction. And if you're circling the knees, just make sure you go both directions. And then we'll go knees to chest, arms out nice and wide. If you don't have space, go cactus arms. Let's drop the knees over to the left and look off to the right. Keep the right shoulder blade nice and heavy. And then we'll extend the arms out nice and wide. We're gonna bring this right hand over to meet the left hand like you're clapping your hands. You probably kind of roll onto your left shoulder here. Now I want you to keep your right fingertips connected to the ground as you draw an imaginary rainbow, a semicircle up and over your head, eventually landing in that supine twist once again. Once you get there, again, bring the right hand over to meet the left hand. The goal is to open up the right shoulder. Keep your right fingertips connected to the ground as you draw an imaginary rainbow up and over your head, landing in that supine twist once again. We'll do 2 more. Right hand to meet left hand. Hand stays on the mat as you draw that semicircle over your head to supine twist. Last one, right hand to meet left hand. Right hand stays connected to the ground as you open it up, supine twist. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Bring your knees back through center and over to the right. Let your shoulder blades feel heavy. If you need to bump your hips around a little bit, feel free. Then let's take the arms wide if they're not. Left hand over to meet right hand. Keep your left fingers connected to the mat as you draw an imaginary rainbow up and over your head until you land back in that supine twist, left arm reaching long. Bring your left hand over to meet your right hand again, rolling onto the right shoulder. Left fingertips stay on the ground as you open it up, working into that left shoulder. Should feel really, really nice. Left hand over to meet right hand, last 2. Fingers stay on the mat, nice and slow. Draw that half circle. Last time, left hand to meet right hand. Fingers stay on the mat until you open it up, supine twist. Take a deep, full breath in. Empty your lungs. Unwind onto your back. Grab the backs of your legs and just kind of bend and straighten your legs a few times. You could go at the same time or one at a time. And then we'll start to add a gentle rock up and down the spine 3, 4, maybe 5 times. Get some momentum and see if you can not use your hands. Just take the feet out nice and wide and tip it up into a standing forward fold. Using your momentum and the strength of your lower body. Put a generous bend in your knees. Feel free to take the feet out wider. And I like to grab the elbows, but the arms hanging heavy is nice too. Wherever you feel best today, kind of let your body decide. And come back to the breath here. Notice if it feels a little stuck or trapped inside the throat, the chest. Trying to pull the breath all the way in, base of the belly. And push the breath all the way out. If you've got the elbows, switch it out, opposite arm on top. Keep your toes pointing forward, but feet are nice and wide. Bend your knees, push your butt back, kind of like a squat. And then straighten the legs, lift your hips. Again, bend the knees, sink butt down, lift hips up, forward fold. 2 more, bend the knees a lot, sink your butt, lift your hips, forward fold. Last one, bend your knees, sink your butt. When you get there, turn your toes out, find a yogi squat. Any sort of movement you like here. I like kind of starting with the hands on the mat. And then eventually walking the hands back and straightening up through the spine. Knees pushing outwards in the direction of the second toes. Low back pushing in. Waistline drawing in and the back of the skull lifting. 3. 2. 1, fingertips on the mat, forward fold. Wiggle your feet in about the width of your hips. Lift up halfway, inhale. Forward fold, option to grab your ankles. 2 more like that, halfway lift. Forward fold. Last one, halfway lift. Forward fold. Take a long step back with your left foot. Spin your heel flat, down dog lunge. Your feet are set up like warrior 1. Walk your hands 45 degrees to the left and drop your head. Lengthen through your arms. Think down dog with the upper body, warrior 1 with the lower body. We're really early in class here, so you might like to kind of bounce into the right knee, right hip a little bit. Bend and straighten a few times, just making space. Never feeling like you have to force a pose. Finding the edge, breathing, softening there. And then walk your hands over to the left. Wide leg forward fold. Feel free to just grab the elbows, hang out. You could shift your weight side to side a few times. Bending into one leg at a time if that feels good. Pardon me, we've got some springtime here, so some allergies. I'm a little bit stuffy. On that next inhale, lift up halfway. Walk around towards the front of your mat. Drop your back knee, Anjaneyasana B. Reach both arms up. Sink your hips forward and push your left shin bone down. It might even help to take your left foot a little bit out to the left to feel more stable. Grab your left wrist or elbows and lean over to the right. Kind of plug the right hip, right femur bone back. Breathe for 3. Right heel heavy, lighter toes 2. 1, back up center, half split. Straighten and fold over right leg, flex your toes. Always feel free to put a gentle bend in your knees. Feel sternum pull forward, sides of the body get longer for 3. 2. 1, rebend your right knee. Keep your left knee on the mat as you extend your right leg back behind you, 3-leg tabletop. Arch your back a little bit, think cow pose and look forward. As you exhale, round your back like cat, right knee to nose. Inhale, extend, look forward. Exhale, crunch, dome your upper back. One more, inhale. Exhale, crunch. Right leg back. Place right toes on the mat. Shift weight forwards, backwards a few times. Stretch the bottom of your foot, your calf. And then find stillness. Right leg stays long behind you, toes tucked. Pull left knee up and into chest. Gaze between thumbs. Hug left heel to butt. Tone your low belly for 3, 2, 3-leg downward dog. Left leg lifting. Bend your knee, stack your hips. Feel free to just hang out there, firming the right thigh back, or circle out your left hip, but keep that right leg unmoving, nice and sturdy. If you need, the left hand can always grab the outer edge of the mat to feel a little more stable through the shoulder. Square your hips off on an inhale. Exhale, step your left foot forward towards your thumb. Back foot flat, down dog lunge. Walk your hands 45 to the right. Again, feet like warrior one. Feel free to move around a little bit here, just making space. Upper body like down dog. So lengthening the arms, hollowing the armpits. Spread the shoulder blades and relax your neck. Breathe. Walk your hands over to the right. Wide leg fold. Again, any movement you like here, shifting around. Add a little twist if that feels good. Just let your body lead. Obviously, the practice is different person to person, but even day to day, what you felt yesterday, you might not feel today. On that next inhale, lift up halfway and walk around towards the front. Back knee down, Anjaneyasana B. Both arms reach up. Right shin bone pushing down, maybe right foot a little to the right. Grab right wrist or opposite elbows and lean over to the left. Feel like the inner thighs are dragging towards each other. Left heel sinking and almost pulling the mat back towards you. Half splits, come through center, straighten and fold over left leg. Feel a gentle twist to the left as you plug your left hip crease back. Belly button back, long sides, 3. Complete cycles of breath, 2. And 1. Rebend your left knee, keep your right knee on the mat. Extend your left leg back behind you, 3-leg tabletop. Look forward, arch your back. Exhale, crunch, left knee to nose, round. Inhale, extend, gaze forward. Exhale, crunch, squeeze. 1 more, extend. Crunch. Left leg back. Toes down, shift weight forwards, backwards a few times, stretch your calf. Find stillness, hug right knee to chest, right heel to butt. Squeeze your low belly, and then press back, 3-leg downward dog, right leg up. Bend your knee, stack your hips, firming the left thigh back. So the left leg doesn't move, even if you choose to move this right leg around. Option for the right hand to grab the outer edge of the mat. And then we'll put right foot down to meet left foot. Shift your weight forward to plank pose. 5 counts, lower to belly. Gaze forward as you lower, 4. Feel free to take the knees down, 3, 2, and 1. Tops of the feet down, roll shoulders back and down. Pull yourself up, baby cobra pose. So elbows hugging in a lot. Pin the shoulder heads back, and then look down like you're looking for your belly button. Almost feel your waistline pull back. Lower yourself right back down. We'll do that again. Slide the hands back just a tad and roll up a little bit higher, but still feel your waistline pull back. Elbows in and shoulder heads back. Lower yourself right back down. So you feel a lot more action through the pose that way instead of just dumping into the low back. Roll yourself up. Feel free to look over the right shoulder and the left shoulder. And then we'll meet back in child's pose. Take a nice full breath in. Open mouth, let it go. Reseal your lips, Ujjayi breath, in and out through your nose. Next inhale, come up tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Any movement you like, feel free to pedal the legs. Bounce into the chest, shoulders. When you're ready, finding stillness. Fingers spread wide like you're trying to push the mat forward and lengthen through the sides. Heels sinking, but they don't need to touch. Focus more on the hips lifting. Lift both heels. Take as many little baby steps as you can all the way up towards the front of your mat. Your feet can touch or hip width. Lift up halfway. Fold forward. Inhale, rise, reach all the way up, look up at your thumbs. Bring your hands to your heart center and hands to your side, Samastitihi. Push into your feet, inhale, reach your arms up, look up at your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, feel free to bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, sternum forward. Hands down, step back, right foot, then left foot. Gaze forward, drop your knees. Lower, modified chaturanga, chest and chin to the ground. Pull yourself through cobra pose. Remember, waistline back, shoulders back. Tuck your toes, tone your belly, downward facing dog. Never feel stuck where you land in a pose. Always feel free to adjust. So lengthening or shortening the stance. Remember that the poses start at the feet. So if you need to adjust, do that first before, going into a more intense shape or taking it further. Full cycles of breath here, in and out through the nose. Lift your heels, look forward, step right foot, then left foot to the front. Ardha, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach up, look up. Hands heart. And hands side. We'll do that again. Reach up, look up, squeeze your legs, but light toes. Exhale, forward fold. All the way down, halfway lift. Step back, left foot, then right foot. You can drop the knees again if you like, or gaze forward, lower halfway. Chaturanga Dandasana. Push your feet back and then slide yourself onto the tops of your feet. Upward facing dog. Exhale, tone your belly, roll over your toes. Downward facing dog. Hollow the armpits, spread the shoulder blades. Push down inner palm. Notice if you're arching your back here or dumping into the shoulders, try to tuck the rib cage in. Squeeze your lower abdomen and your upper thighs. One more breath. Look forward, step, left foot, right foot to the front. Ardha, half lift. Forward fold. Rise, reach, look up. Hands heart. Hands side. Again, reach up, lean back if that feels okay. Exhale, forward fold, push all the air out. Halfway lift. Step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana, all the way to the bottom of your breath. Inhale, cobra or up dog, all the way to the top of your breath. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Thigh bones pushing back. Feel the kneecaps lifting. The tops of the thighs squeezing like they're trying to hug onto the thigh bones. Your heels are sinking. Again, they don't have to touch the ground, but if they do, can you get lighter in your toes? Look forward, step or jump to the front. Halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach up. Grab your left wrist or opposite elbows and lean over to the right. Squeeze your legs, light toes. Notice if you're flaring your ribs, can you soften your bottom ribs down? Back up center, grab right wrist or switch the grip with the elbows and lean to the left. Squeeze your left oblique and breathe into your right side. Back up center, make a bind behind your back. Lift your sternum, hips forward again, light toes from your glutes. Bend your knees a lot, enough that you can rest your rib cage on your thighs and fold over your legs. And then like we did in the beginning, bend your knees a lot, try to keep your bind. And then straighten your legs, push your thigh bones back. Again, bend your knees a lot. Straighten your legs, thigh bones back. One more, bend your knees a lot. Straight legs, thigh bones back. Bend your knees a lot, release grip, Utkatasana. Inhale for 5. Steady breath, 4. Sit a little lower, 3. 2. 1, forward fold. Halfway lift. Step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Big inhale. Open mouth, sigh. Reseal your lips. Even breath. Let's lift the right leg up. Keep your hips square so the leg won't go up super high. If you feel like you're opening your hips to the right, you need to drop your outer right hip, lift up from the inner right thigh. Keep firming the left thigh bone back, and then step right foot to right thumb. Keep your left hand there, or maybe walk it a little closer to the right foot and reach your right arm up, twist. Notice the hips here, they want to swing over to the right, so you're trying to plug the right hip back into the left and then pump up the left leg. Think back of the left knee going up. So you feel the twist a lot more there, even if the pose looks really the same. So all about how the poses feel, those little micro adjustments. Try to think less about how they look. Take some big backstroke circles with your right arm. And then start to look in front of your mat. The next time your right arm sweeps forward, bump your fingers forward and open up to the left, half moon pose. So now we're externally rotating the hips. We're facing the left side of the mat. Keep your gaze down, right fingertips. Block is great here if you've got one. Hard flex of this left foot. You're almost squeezing the glutes together to help externally rotate. Slowly start to bend into your right knee and take a long step back, warrior 2. Remember, you're not stuck where you land, so adjust the feet first. That's the foundation of the pose. You want right heel lining up with the left arch. Gaze over your right fingertip, soften your shoulders. Straighten your right leg, reverse triangle. Reach more up than back. And then rebend your right knee, side angle pose. I like elbow to thigh here. You can always go hand to mat or hand to block inside the foot. Just start to notice your feet. Firm down the outer edge of your left foot, like you're lifting the arch. And then can you get lighter in the right toes? Notice if you're flaring your rib cage out, try to tuck the rib cage in. Lead with this left arm, top arm as you bring it up. Left arm on the bottom, eagle arms. If that doesn't work out, just give yourself a big hug instead. Spin your heels in, toes out, goddess squat with eagle arms. Feel free to move around a little bit, side to side. Keep breathing. Straighten your legs, unwind, reach up. Waistline in, big stretch. Turn your left toes out to the back of your mat, warrior 2. Again, take time to set up your feet. Flip your left palm, reverse warrior. Reach up and back. Again, more up than back. Windmill your hands to the back of your mat. Without dragging your foot, step left foot back. Chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up behind you, keeping the hips square. Right thigh bone pushing back. Step left foot to left thumb. Keep your right hand there, or maybe wiggle it a little closer to the left foot. Left arm reach up. Now notice the hips. Left hip back and down, pumping up the right leg. So think level hips here. Take some big backstroke circles with that left arm. Next time it sweeps forward, bump it forward into half moon pose. Keep the gaze down for stability. Block is great if you've got one. Press the ball of your left foot down. Your left toes are not changing direction at all. Firm your right thigh, flex your foot. Start to bend deep into the left knee and take a step back, warrior two. Take a moment to align your feet. Feel like your hip points are lifting, tailbone scooping slightly. Straighten left leg, reverse triangle, big reach. And side angle, elbow thigh, hand to mat. Just acknowledging the feet. Try to scoop this left glute a little bit underneath you. And then lead with the right arm, bring it up, right arm on the bottom. Eagle arms, or give yourself a hug. Heels in, toes out, goddess squat, feel free to move around. The more you can lift your elbows and push your forearms forward, you'll feel more space in your upper back. Straighten your legs, unwind, reach. To the front of your mat, warrior two, set up your feet. Reverse warrior, reach more up than back. Exhale, both hands on the mat. Without dragging your foot, step right foot back, chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale upwards. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale. All right. We're going to move through this with the pace of our breath. So I'll be obviously moving with the pace of my breath and what yours might be, but yours might be a little bit different, faster or slower, so just honor that. Take everything I say as a suggestion. If there's something you'd like to leave out or something you'd like to add in, please feel free. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Keep your hips square. Exhale, intentional step forward, nice and soft. Inhale, right arm reach up. This slow backstroke is the exhale. As you bump your right fingertips forward, inhale, open up, half moon. Take it slow, it's a big movement. On your exhale, long step back, meet in warrior two. Straighten your right leg, reverse triangle, reach up. Rebend your right knee, side angle, push all the breath out. Inhale up, left arm on the bottom. Exhale, goddess squat, sink into your heels. Inhale, straight legs, unwind. Exhale to the back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, chaturanga at the back of your mat. Inhale up. Exhale back, down dog. Inhale, left leg lift. Exhale, soft step forward. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, slow backstroke. Inhale, half moon pose. Exhale, step back, warrior two. Straight legs, reverse triangle. Side angle. Lead with the right arm, bring it up. Exhale, goddess squat. Straight legs, rise. To the front of your mat, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Hands to the mat, step back, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back, down dog. Again, right leg, inhale. Even breath, step forward. Right arm up. Back stroke. Half moon pose, inhale. Step back, warrior two, exhale. Reverse triangle. Side angle. Bring it up, left arm on the bottom. Goddess squat. Unwind, reach. To the back, warrior two. Reverse warrior. And bring it down, chaturanga, exhale. Back bend, inhale. Down dog, we'll meet there. Last time, left side, lift. Exhale, step. Left arm up, back, and bump it forward, half moon. Long step, warrior two. Reverse triangle. Side angle. Bring it up, right arm on the bottom. Goddess squat. Rise, reach. To the front, warrior two. Breath in, reverse. Breath out, chaturanga. Let's meet in dolphin pose on our forearms. Hands are not clasped, palms are down. What I even like to do is start with the elbows lifted. Try to turn the eyes of the elbows forward and then lower the backs of the arms onto the ground. That way when you push your elbows out, your skin kind of locks onto the mat. At least my mat's pretty grippy, so it does. So palms down, they're not pulling in towards each other. Again, excuse my sniffles. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up, dolphin pose. So the thigh bone's pushing back, just like down dog. You can put a little bend in your knees. You're pushing down into your forearms so your head has space to hang. Your head's not touching the mat. Stay here or lift one leg up. Feel free to take little hops. If you're working on pincha, mayurasana, I like to look between the thumbs. Breathe wherever you are for 3, 2, and 1. Let's meet on our knees for camel pose. Hands to the low back, sternum lift, and lean back. Tops of the feet push down, sternum lifting the entire time, and the hips driving forward. So you don't need to think about like pushing the hips forward, just think hips going in that direction, sternum lifting for 3, 2, 1. Lift your torso up. Let's go hands on the mat, neutral spine for a moment, and then counter pose cat, round your back. Bring your knees together and feet together. Spike your toes to the mat and take a seat back on your heels. You might like to move your pinky toes out of the way. It should be uncomfy, but it should not be painful. If it's painful, take hero's pose instead. Sit up nice and tall and relax your shoulders. Find your breath, breathing in to the bottoms of your feet. Think about all of the work they do for you all day. Standing, walking, holding basically your entire body weight anytime you're standing. And rarely, if ever, do they get this awesome stretch. Just one more breath. Lift your hips, hands to your waist. Step your right foot forward. Spin your left shin behind you and open up modified warrior two. Bring your right elbow to your right thigh. Modified side angle or right hand inside the foot. Scoop your right glute underneath you. Get light in your right toes. Think about the inner right thigh. For me, it's pushing towards the camera. So pushing in that direction, right knee out to the right. Cartwheel left hand to the back of the mat. Turn right toes in. Modified side plank. Right leg is nice and straight. Push down a lot into your left hand and your right foot. Left hand and right foot. You're gonna try to float your left knee, that's your bottom knee, off of the mat. And then kick left leg out, fall in triangle. I like the top arm extending Utthita, palm down or pinky down, but reaching up is fine too, for 3, 2, 1. Right hand down, left knee to nose. Step left foot forward, pyramid pose, face the back of your mat. Shorter stance, right toes angled out, heel to heel or feet on railroad tracks. Feel a little twist to the left, even though we're not twisting just yet. Feel that pull of the pubic bone forward, right hip forward, left hip crease back. Revolving triangle, right hand mat or block. Left arm reach up. If that's too much, left hand to the low back. Keep the left hip crease pulling back so the sides of the body are long. I like some weight in the right foot. Think about it as your anchor, keeping you steady and sturdy for 3. Turning chest to the left, 2. And 1. Look down, bump your right hand forward, lift your right leg up behind you. You can go both hands on the mat standing L or revolving half moon, keep twisting to the left. Lift up from the right heel, push your left thigh bone back, just like we were doing in downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, feet together, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach up. Using your left hip flexor, not your hands, lift your left knee up in front of you. Flex your foot, level your pelvis, take an inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand can start with the knee. If you've got it, reach for the outside edge of your foot like we were just doing in revolving triangle. Left hip going down, sides of the body long. If that's going well, look back, left thumb for 3, 2. Keep the twist, but release the grip. Use your left hip flexor. Keep your arms wide and take a long step back, warrior 2. Whew. 1 breath, reverse warrior. Side angle, right side. Hand inside foot, block, or elbow thigh. Same idea, the right butt wants to stick out behind you. You're trying to scoop it underneath you. And now the inner thigh, for me, is pushing towards the wall. But same idea as what we did in that modified side angle for 3, 2, 1. Sweep it to the front, Skandasana. Deep bend left knee and take a seat. Your right hand, left ankle. If that's too much, bottom of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Right hand will grab your left waist. We're going side stretch, left arm reaching up. Try to dive your right shoulder on or inside your right thigh. Think left knee pushing to the left, chest turning up towards the ceiling. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Back through center, flip it around to the front and take pigeon pose on the left side. Pigeon pose, left side, the right leg long behind you. Try to level out the weight in your hips. So you don't want to just be rolling onto this left hip the whole time. If this is too much on your front knee, you can always take a seated or supine figure 4. Stay here, or we've been twisting to the left, so if you want to take right arm underneath, like thread the needle, that would be great too. Nice and slow, start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Wiggle your right knee up. You can take it through a vinyasa if you would like, or you can just come to a tabletop and kind of roll out that left hip. And then we'll meet in a tabletop position to do camel pose once again. Come up onto the knees, hands to the low back. Sternum lift and lean back. If you would like, reach back for the heels, but still think about the sternum lifting. So the spine is pushing in behind the heart, hips going forward. 3, 2, 1. Bring yourself back up. Tabletop position, neutral spine. And then let's round the back, cat pose. Knees together, feet together, spike your toes and take a seat. Ankle bones hugging in, maybe move the pinky toes. Hands to thighs, eyes closed. Sit with the discomfort. Acknowledge that it is temporary. It's not going to last forever. We'll be out in 3, 2, 1. Hands to waist, lift your hips. Left foot step forward, spin right shin behind you. Modified warrior 2 to modified side angle. Left hand on or inside the foot. So at least when I teach in person, I see a lot of people, they really just want to get their hand to the mat. Now I know, especially when we start practicing yoga, we think the more advanced variation is the better variation. I felt that way too. But many times we're just dumping forward and sticking this left butt out behind us. So the goal here is to really try to scoop this left glute. Push left knee to the left hip to the right. And then if you can go hand to mat, great. But if not, always elbow to thigh is great. Let's cartwheel right hand to the back of the mat. Straighten out the left leg and turn the toes in. Modified side plank. Push down a lot into your right hand and your left foot. Right hand and left foot. Enough so that you can hover your right knee off of the mat and kick it out, fallen triangle. Plug the right shoulder back. You've got to squeeze your legs. More space between the mat and your inner left thigh. And then let's go left hand down. Hug your right knee to your nose. Softly step your right foot forward, pyramid pose. Shorter stance. Really gently twisting to the right. So you feel like the left hip, the pubic bone are driving forward. That almost helps your sternum pull forward and lengthening through the sides. The right hip crease is what's pulling back. Left hand mat or block. Start to twist to the right. Right hand to the low back is great, or reaching up. You don't want to feel like you're rounding your spine. Tailbone still going back, crown of the head forward. So long spine. Squeeze your legs. 3, 2, 1. Look down. You can go standing L or revolving half moon. Either way, left leg lifting up with the foot flexed, lifting up from the inner thigh. Right thigh bone pushing back, so this right side body is not crunched or bunched up for 3, 2, 1. Feet together, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach up. Without using your hands, lift your right knee up in front of you, foot flex. Use your hip flexor. Level your pelvis, take an inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Start by grabbing the knee. If that works out, grab the outer edge of the foot like we just did in revolving a triangle. Same idea, right hip going down so the side is not bunched up. If that feels all right, look back, right thumb. 3, 2. Keep the twist, but release the grip. Use your right hip flexor. And take a big step back, warrior 2. Take a moment to set up your feet, reverse warrior. and side angle. So here's what I mean. A lot of people will they really want to get their hand on their mat, but then they're dumping forward. So block would be great or fingertips, but really you're trying to tuck this left glute underneath. So the left hip pushing, for me, towards the camera, left knee out to the left. So I might need to bend my left knee more, or I can always go elbow to thigh. That's great too. Sweep it to the front, Skandasana, flying monkey pose, and take a seat. So your right foot can remain as it is, hugging the shin in, or bottom right foot, inner left thigh. Left hand either grabs ankle or waist, right arm reach up. Try to dive left shoulder inside left leg as you take a side bend. Keep your left toes flexed and firm your left thigh. Turn your chest up towards the ceiling. I like to think right knee to the right. Think about the right sitting bone getting heavier, as if just thinking about it could do that. But when you use your imagination, you kind of almost feel the poses more. Bring yourself back up. Use your hands, pivot around to the front, pigeon pose on the right side. Take a moment to settle in. Remember all of the options you have. If figure 4 would be better for your front knee, please go ahead and do that. Stay there, take a little twist, left arm going underneath, like thread the needle, since we've been twisting to the right on this side. All right, when you're ready, start to walk your hands back. Feel free to take a vinyasa or just come to tabletop and roll out this right hip. Now, what we've been prepping for is an arm balance called Visvamitrasana. It's very challenging. Even to me, like the modified version is very challenging. So I'm gonna kind of walk you through it and then we'll do it together. So the quote unquote real version would be done kind of from like this modified side angle position that we did. And then I would actually extend my left leg back. So I'm in like I'm in a side angle, but my right hand, my right shoulder has to drop underneath my, kind of my right knee. My left hand will be grabbing my right foot and I'll be extending, which for me is near impossible. And I feel like I'm pretty flexible. So what I like to teach is the more modified version where we kind of get in like we would from fallen triangle. So if you're in a downward facing dog, you'll lift your right leg up and crunch your right knee to your left elbow. Then you'll roll to the inner edge of your left foot. That's the most important part here. The left leg has to be sturdy. Your left hand will grab your right knee, kind of like we do when we're twisting. We start with the knee. If that's going well, grab the outside edge of your foot. Start by extending your legs straight, and then if that's going well, you'll pull the right arm up or the left arm up and overhead, getting that right leg to straighten. And then like I was talking about in side angle, you're getting this right glute to scoop underneath, the inner right thigh pushing towards the camera. And release. All right, let's give it a shot. So we'll do right side, then left side. From downward facing dog, lift your right leg up behind you. Crunch right knee, left elbow. Roll inner edge, left foot. Left hand grab knee or outside edge of the foot. Right leg can kick straight if you've got the foot. If that's all going well, keep your left leg sturdy. Pull your right leg towards the front of your mat. Left bicep by the ear. Scoop right glute underneath. 3, 2. I like to put the right foot down and then slide into Hanuman Asana, splits pose. And for me, I can't do full splits, so somewhere between half and full is great. Half splits is always a good option. Just a few breaths. Slowly start to wiggle that right foot back. Optional vinyasa, or just go back to down dog and we'll try it on the left side. So lift your left leg up, crunch left knee over to right elbow. Important part, roll to the inner edge of your right foot, so right leg is sturdy, like a warrior 2 foot. Right hand, grab left knee. If that's going well, grab the outer edge of your left foot. Kick left leg straight first. If that all feels all right, pull left leg towards the front of the mat. Right bicep by the ear, scoop left glute underneath for 3. Push hips to the right, 2. 1, splits pose, half full or somewhere in between, left side. Whew, it's a really, really intense pose. That's why we did all of that. We did the fallen triangle, we did like that gate variation with the side stretch, all of that twisting. I even think this, modified version is super, super challenging. I can barely do the full version and would need, I think, a lot more prep for that. Few more breaths. Let's slowly wiggle this left leg back. Optional final vinyasa. And then we'll meet on our seats. Step or jump through, seated position. Woo, let's go ahead and lie down onto our backs. Feet flat, arms by your side. Put the feet nice and close to you. Scoop your tailbone so there's no space between the mat and the low back, and then lift your hips up, bridge pose. I like to think feet pushing the mat forward. You almost feel the knees go forward, and it's almost like the tops of the thighs lengthen. You're getting a little bit of a stretch there. Maybe that's just me, but that's definitely what I am feeling here. Let the rib cage sink down. 3, 2, 1. Lower hips down. Take a breath. Again, tailbone scoop, lift hips up. Option to bind this time. Feel more space across your chest. Tailbone scooping to the back of the knees. Rib cage softening down. Knees almost pushing forward. Light toes for 3, 2, 1. Release, bind, slow, lower. Take a breath. Last back bend, bridge or upward facing bow. Tailbone scoop. Option, hands besides head, thumbs in. If you've never done upward bow, I'd highly recommend doing this with a teacher in person just to keep yourself safe. Lift your hips up. Start by coming to the top of your head. If that feels all right, push into your hands, chest towards the space behind you, feet pushing mat forward, knees towards the space in front of you. Make sure the toes are still pointing forward, not out. Inner thighs spiraling down. 3, 2, 1. Chin tuck, slow lower all the way to your back. Both knees pull into chest. Rock gently side to side. Grab your feet, happy baby. If feet doesn't work out, you can always grab like big toes or back of the knees. Tailbone sinking, little tuck of the chin, so your spine is nice and flat. Release that, take your legs straight up. Waterfall, shoulder stand, or Paschimottanasana, rock up to a seated forward fold. If you're close to a wall, you could also go legs up the wall pose. If you're in shoulder stand, nice and slow, take your legs overhead, plow pose, toes tucked or untucked. I like to grab the outer edges of the mat. You could bind as well. Feel your neck lift a little bit as you push the back of your skull down. That should alleviate some pressure in your cervical spine. From there, maybe ear pressure pose, hug your knees to your temples. Slowly roll yourself all the way down. We'll meet in fish pose, fingertips under your butt, forearms on the mat. Puff up your chest and drop your head back. Push your spine in behind your heart. Take a deep, full breath in. Tongue out, lion's breath. Again, breathe in. One more. Slowly tuck your chin, lower yourself onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Take your arms out wide, just like we did in the beginning. Drop your knees to the left and look to the right. Shoulder blades heavy, flat, right ear sinking. Slowing down the breath. Bring your knees back through center and drop them over to the right, gaze left. Relax your face, relax your jaw. Soften between your eyes. Bring your knees back through center. Give yourself a squeeze, knees to chest. Thank yourself for carving out the time to be here 100%. Thank yourself for showing up distraction-free for 1 full hour. And can you give yourself these final few minutes of practice? Extend your legs. Allow your toes to flop out. Left hand heart, right hand belly, or arms by your side. Any adjustments you need to feel more comfortable, more at peace, make those now. Remember all the effort it took to even carve out the time to roll out your mat, to do the poses, to do the chaturangas. Use that same motivation, same intention and purpose to just rest right here. Just a few minutes. Savasana. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Big stretch, reach. Feel space, length. Hug your knees in. Feel gratitude for your body, your breath, the commitment you made to yourself, and just showing up for 1 full hour of distraction-free you time. Roll to your right or left side. And gradually make your way up to a comfortable seat with the eyes closed. Bring your hands to your heart center. How you show up for yourself is how you show up for the world. So to give everyone else the best version of you, you have to show up for yourself first. And you did that just by carving out time in your busy life today to practice and be present and breathe intentionally and move with purpose. Take a deep, full breath in. Exhale. Namaste. Thank you for choosing to practice with me and for allowing me to be your guide. If you liked this class, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you liked in the comments. I try to read and respond to every single comment. If you're interested in joining my membership channel, I release a few extra classes a month. It's not really like set weekly, but it's a great way to help support me as a YouTube creator. So it could be like your subscription is your donation for classes. Obviously, no pressure. I just appreciate you choosing to practice with me, giving me a thumbs up, and sharing this with your family and friends. So thank you so much. I will see you back next week, and that's all I've got. Enjoy your day.